everybody. Well, you guys already know from the title of this video that we are having another baby. I've been busy growing this baby all winter. Here is the little sonogram picture. This is our third baby, and like with our other two children, you may see little clips of them digging or their hands and feet in videos, but we want to maintain our children's privacy on this channel, so we won't be featuring them or sharing too many details or personal information about their lives. However, I did want to share with you guys the exciting news because we are very excited to be adding to our family, and we'll soon be a family of 5. Over the last couple months, I've received several emails and messages from subscribers saying that they were concerned about where we had been and checking in to make sure everything was okay. I truly want to say thank you to everybody who reached out, and I'm excited to finally be able to tell you guys now the real reason we have been MIA the last couple months. Unfortunately, with this pregnancy, I have been experiencing severe morning sickness, and I did not experience that to this degree at all with my first 2 children. It seems to be subsided here lately, which I'm really thankful for, so I can be able to get back into the garden and post regular content for you guys. So in addition to growing this baby, we are also still going to be growing lots of vegetables and flowers and yummy things in the garden. So I thought this would be a good segue to show you what seeds we are excited to be growing this year. I have quite a lot of seeds here with several new varieties that I'm excited to show you guys. Let's start with all the flower varieties that we're going to be growing this year. I'm really excited. We're going to be making a few changes to the garden this season to make things a little bit more efficient. And one of those changes is also going to be that Ryan's going to be making me some new raised beds that I can dedicate to flower growing, because I really did enjoy having fresh cut flowers in the house all summer long last year. So I'm excited for all these new varieties. Let me show you. As you'll see as we go through the seeds, I ordered them from several different places. Our eldest son loves the color blue. He's obsessed with it. And he helped me pick out a few different flower varieties that had some blue in them. So these blue African disc daisies, I think, are really pretty. Those are from Baker Creek or rareseeds.com. And I actually got 2 packets of those. These 2 I grew last year. These are straw flowers. I still have a couple seeds in this packet, but I actually saved some of the flower heads that I grew last year as well to pull the seeds out of to grow. And what I think is really cool about these straw flowers is that when they dry, their color is preserved. And they sound like paper or straw, which I think is probably why they get their name. There are several different colors on this particular packet. However, of all the plants I grew, only yellow and this kind of dark purple maroon color were the varieties to grow. So I'm not sure if there's only seeds for yellow and purple in this packet and not necessarily all those different colors. At least that's what I experienced this past year. I am also growing quite a few different types of poppies this year. I purchased these amazing gray poppies. I think the gray purple color is really pretty on that. And I also have some fluffy frosted salmon poppies, and they look kind of like a pom-pom or something. They're kind of cool. I actually direct sowed a few of these poppies this past fall, and I'm also going to be sowing a couple more here later this winter. Love in a Mist. I have some German chamomile, which I put in the flower section, but it's also an herb, so it could be in either category. Nasturtiums. This is the Alaska mix nasturtium. I have Colorado mix yarrow, Globosa mix gumfrina, and I'm not guaranteeing that I'm pronouncing any of these varieties correctly, but I'm going to try my best. Also have some bachelor's button, some Canterbury bells. This is the deluxe mix Canterbury bell. This is the Pacific Beauty mix calendula. Then I have a couple varieties of cosmos. This first one is the apricota cosmos from Baker Creek. Then I also have 2 different varieties from Johnny's. This one is the Cupcakes White Cosmos. Then I also have Rubenza Cosmos. Since there's no picture on the pack, let me show you what they look like in the Johnny's catalog. These are the 2 types of Cosmos. I think these cupcake ones look really cute. They look kind of like a cupcake wrapper. Then also from Johnny's, I have 2 different varieties of Snapdragons. I have the Potomac Early Sunrise Mix and the Potomac Custom Mix F1 Hybrid. Then I have the Johnny's Status Formula Mix. I've never grown this before, but I have heard that these also maintain their color when they are dried, like the straw flowers. Then I have some Dianthus. This is the Volcano Mix. Then this one is actually from Botanical Interests. This is a Viola King Henry flower. These next two I think are really cute and will be really pretty in cut flower arrangements. This is the Champion White 2F1 Pelleted Campanula flower. And then I also have that in the color blue as well. They kind of look like a little cup or bell shape, and I think they're super cute. I grew some of these last year. These are double champagne hollyhocks. Next, I have a few different varieties of sunflowers. I grew a lot of sunflowers last year and I saved a lot of the seeds. I actually have a big 5-gallon bucket full of sunflower seeds down in the basement. But as a cut flower, they were kind of aggravating for me because of how much pollen they dropped. So this year I specifically bought a few varieties that are supposed to be pollenless, or at least less pollen, from Johnny's to use for cut flowers. I got the Pro Cut White Knight F1 Hybrid Sunflower, which has white petals. I think is really pretty. Then I got the Pro Cut Orange F1 Hybrid, which has like more of a traditional sunflower look. I have a white kitchen island here, and I would put a big vase of sunflowers in the middle and there would just be yellow pollen everywhere, and I was constantly cleaning up, and I found it a little aggravating. But I also have a few varieties from last year that I didn't finish the packets. I did really like the look of these fluffy tall orange sunflowers from Baker Creek. So I did save a bunch of these seeds in the basement as well. Now moving on to zinnias, I did save a bunch of my own zinnia seeds from last year as well. So we're gonna have a lot of different zinnia varieties. The first one is Barry's Great White Zinnia from Johnny's. Then we have the Oklahoma Salmon Zinnia from Johnny's. Also Oklahoma Golden Yellow, Queenie Red Lime Zinnia. The Queenie Red Lime I think is pretty cool with the two-tone of color. It has some green and pink in it. And then from Baker Creek, I got another white variety called Polar Bear. Now, zinnia seeds are really easy to save. Personally, I just take the whole flower head off, let them dry, and I keep them in a Ziploc bag, not fully sealed so that there's airflow. And then when you're ready to plant them, you just, see if I can do this without making a terrible mess. When you're ready to plant them, you just pull the petals off, and that little part there at the end is the actual seed that you plant in the ground. But I just stick the whole petal in there. I have several hundred seeds just in this bag, so we'll have lots of zinnias. Continuing with the flowers, I also saved seeds from my Powwow White Echinacea or cone flowers that I grew last year. I'll pop a picture of what they look like on the screen for you guys. And I have, it's not yellow anymore, but this was yellow celosia. And I also have a big bag of marigold seeds that I saved. I have some from the ones I grew, and then my mom grew a really pretty bright yellow variety this past year that I saved a bunch of seeds from as well. I'm gonna try to go through the vegetables pretty quickly here so that this isn't a super long video, but I do want to show you guys everything that we're growing. I have these Cylindra beets. These are really dark red beet, albino beets, and golden beets, all from Baker Creek. I tried growing the albino and the golden beets last year, and I don't know exactly what happened, but I think I only had like one germinate for me. So hopefully this year they do a little better. Now for carrots, pretty much the main variety I grew last year was this pelleted Sugar Snacks carrot. It's really yummy and they grow really big. I actually sowed another crop of these in the fall, and they've slowly been growing all winter, and we've been harvesting off of them. However, I've been having some animals or rodents, something, eating a lot of my carrots out of the garden the last couple weeks. So not sure what's doing that, but I do still have a lot of seeds in here to sow some more. With my Baker Creek order, they sent me a packet of free carrots this year. That's one thing I like about Baker Creek is when you place an order, you typically get a packet of free seeds. This is the St. Valerie carrot. And then these are a couple varieties I also grew last year. Danvers carrot from Southern Exposure Seed, Atomic Red, and then these are Oxheart carrots. I also have some turnips and parsnips as well. For our pepper varieties, I'm trying a new variety this year called the Sugar Rush Peach Pepper. Whoever came up with the marketing for this name definitely deserves a raise because the name is what sold me on it. Plus, I've also seen a couple other gardening YouTubers grow this variety and say they really liked it. So I'm excited to try that. This will be my third summer growing the Corbaci pepper, and it's been a favorite of mine for the last couple years. I think it's really yummy. It tastes basically like a sweet bell pepper, but long and skinny. And it's a very prolific plant typically. The shishito pepper, and then I have California Wonder bell peppers, Hungarian paprika pepper, and Ashe County pimento pepper. For my tomatoes, I have the Cherokee purple tomato, the Sun Gold F1 hybrid cherry tomato. This was my absolute favorite tomato that I grew last year. It's extremely sweet, and I put the tomatillo with the tomato stack. Kellogg's Breakfast, these are from M.I. Gardner. Paul Robinson, the black cherry tomato. Dr. White Cheese yellow tomato. Chadwick cherry. Marglobe tomato. Tessa's Land Race currant tomato. I really liked this one too. This was very sweet, and they're super cute little tiny tomatoes that are really adorable, and it was a very, very prolific plant as well. Borges tomato. These are ground cherries. Last year I did start some of these from seeds, so I had some starts to plant out into the garden, but we had so many from the year before just self-seed themselves and volunteer in the garden that I didn't really need to take any time self-seeding. So if you're gonna grow ground cherries, which I think they're really yummy, just know you'll have them in your garden forever. This was a free one that I got last year, the white Tom Sowell tomato. I wasn't super thrilled about this one, so I'll probably only do like one plant of this and give it another try. Drusba tomato, and then the Berries Crazy Cherry tomato. This one's very prolific, however, it doesn't really have that much flavor, I've noticed. It's a very mild tomato, so if you like mild tomatoes, this will be for you. Then I also have a few different tomato seed varieties that I saved myself. For watermelon, this is the one that did the best for us last year, and we're growing this again. The Orangello watermelon, it's very sweet, and it produced big uniform fruit, and we really liked it. Also had the Kajari melon, which was like a little miniature melon. I think it tastes kind of like a mix between like a cantaloupe and a honeydew. The strawberry watermelon, yellow fleshed Moon and Star watermelon. Then we have the Royal Golden and the Alibaba watermelon, as well as the Crimson Sweet Virginia Select. And then for cantaloupes, I have the Minnesota Midget, the Sweet Passion Muskmelon, and Sarah's Choice F1 hybrid cantaloupe. Cucumbers, the Muncher cucumber, Dragon's Egg cucumber, which I really like this one. It's very prolific, and the kids really like it too. It just tastes like a normal cucumber, except it's white, which is fun. The Salt and Pepper cucumber, this one is also white, but it's long and skinny like a normal cucumber, whereas the Dragon's Egg typically looks like a softball for me. And then I have a classic Market More cucumber. I have 1 pack of eggplants, which I bought these seeds last year, and I never ended up getting any eggplant last year, so maybe this year it'll do better. I have a lot of herbs here. I really like cooking with fresh herbs and drying my own. I want to try to dry a lot more this year to have a big surplus throughout the winter, because I have run out of several different types that I did dry. I have 3 different types of basil: the blue spice basil, basil lime, and Genovese basil. Stevia, rosemary, broadleaf sage, marvelous mint, cilantro, oregano, chives, dill, parsley, and thyme. All the classics. For pumpkins, our state fair winning pumpkin did not do much last year. Our big in-ground garden got pretty overrun by weeds, so that's probably why. But we still have a couple seeds of the state fair winning pumpkin. I have some gourd seeds, a classic orange Howden pumpkin, sugar pie pumpkins, and a white pumpkin mix called the Valenciano. We have a lot of squash bugs here. I try to pick off all the eggs and get rid of them as much as I can. However, since we try to farm organically and not spray anything, there's only really so much you can do. And I typically just end up succession sowing. I did hear a rumor that if you plant the blue Hubbard squash, it'll act as a host plant for the squash bugs. So we're giving that a try this year. We'll see how that does. And then hopefully they'll be distracted from all of our other squash plants. I'm also trying a few different smaller squash varieties that I haven't tried before that I can succession sow and hopefully will produce a little quicker. This is the white scallop squash, Petisan golden marbre scallop squash, lemon squash. I have a honey nut squash, a traditional butternut squash, which we still have 2 butternut squashes left from last season. So we're doing pretty good on those. We've been enjoying those this winter. An acorn squash. This variety is Table Queen Vine. Then from Johnny's, I have a hybrid Tigress zucchini squash, as well as an Italian striped zucchini squash. I have 2 packets of radishes that I grew last year. I don't really care for radishes personally, but it did seem to be quite a good host plant for aphids. So we'll probably still grow some this year. This is the watermelon radish. And then I also have a purple plum radish. I love sugar snap peas. I have a big old bag from Johnny's of just classic sugar snap peas. And then we also really like green beans, and I like freezing a lot of green beans. So I have a big bag also from Johnny's of bush beans. This is the Provider bush bean, Blue Lake bush bean from Botanical Interest, and the Scheissel's pole green bean. I grew all these last year. My favorite was the Scheissel's pole green bean. I enjoyed eating it raw, and it had a very sweet, yummy flavor to it. I have a few different broccoli and cabbage varieties. This is the Green Magic hybrid broccoli. I have Italian sprouting broccoli and the amazing cauliflower. My broccoli did really well last year. However, the cauliflower did not do so hot. So hopefully this year the cauliflower does better. And then I have lettuces. I'm trying a new variety of pelleted romaine lettuce from Johnny's. This is the Monte Carlo romaine lettuce. It produces a small, petite little lettuce head. I think looks cute. I also have some red Russian kale, which I did get a free packet of that last year as well from Johnny's. Deer tongue matchless lettuce. This one was really yummy and sweet. We grew a lot of this last year. Then I have the Paris Island Cost lettuce. It produces a romaine type head. We really enjoyed this one. This one was probably our favorite that we grew last year. We really like the romaine type lettuce for salads. Then we have Hilton Chinese cabbage. I have some arugula or rocket. Also, I have a bag of Italian microgreens. The last type of lettuce, or spinach I should say I have, is the bag busted, so all the seeds are down here in the bottom. But this is winter Bloomsdale spinach. I have some of this planted in the garden already that I sowed in the fall, and I'll be succession sowing some here in the coming weeks. It's very cold hardy. Even if you don't like eating spinach by itself, we actually dehydrated a bunch of this spinach last year and put it in smoothies and soups and stuff. I'll make sure to tag a link to that video if you want to watch that. And then 2 cabbages. We have Copenhagen market cabbage and the Mammoth Red Rock cabbage. That was a lot of information on seeds, so if you stayed with me that whole time, thank you for watching. We're gonna be doing a lot of prep work for the garden here in the coming weeks, as well as doing some things to make it more efficient. So make sure to subscribe if you're not already, so you don't miss any videos on all of that. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye y'all.